Good day to you all. We have come to the fourth lesson, which is the last lesson of the Unit 5, Theories of Entrepreneurship. You know, one thing you must be knowing about it, whatever we have discussed as a part of your syllabus, whether it is functions of management, leadership and entrepreneurship, they are all basics. This will certainly give you a feeling that you need to know more about them. I have been trying to give you a bird's eye view of these concepts, these models, these theories, so that you must be able to know them very well and also try to understand the contemporary realities, the realities that as they exist today, and how entrepreneurship can be seen among youth of this country, because now you are seeing startups. Startups are nothing but the reflection of entrepreneurship. So, please watch them, understand them and try to be an entrepreneur providing employment to many people rather than becoming an employee of doing 9 to 6 job. That is the intention of these sessions. As I told you, rural realities are the opportunities for young people to do so many things. India, that is Bharat, can produce food for the entire world. In this statement, there are several entrepreneurial activities involved in that. Only thing you need to think about is this. One example I will give you. Sugar was introduced by Britishers to this country, which has been using good, that is jaggery, as a sweetener. Today, sugar is considered to be the food for cancer. What have we done? Why we have left our ancient way of living? And even in making jaggery, hydrose is being used as a coloring agent, which is causing bone weakness. So, we have corrupted our ways of living, our ways of manufacturing good, that is jaggery. There is so much market, so much business opportunity in making organic jaggery. Now, organic jaggery, that is what Mantra is making in many other places, some companies are making, are very costly, and you can make it very well and affordable for all the people. And there is so much business if you can replace sugar with good. One example and one idea for you to think about it. Now, in this session, we will be understanding the theory of social change by Max Weber, need for achievement by McClelland, comparison between Weber's theory and McClelland theory, Dacey and Ryan's theory of self-determination, it is called SDT, self-determination theory, some important characteristics of an entrepreneur and he must possess them, social enterprise and social entrepreneurs. I think the last one I have already told you how you need to look at the opportunities available. So, now let us come to the theory of Max Weber. The religious principle and ethical standards related to a society plays a vital role in determining the entrepreneurial culture. That is what Max Weber opines, feels very strongly about it. Okay? And he says that his theory talks about the spirit of capitalism, why it exists, why it does not exist. Okay? A person with spirit of capitalism will have high motivation to earn more profit. Okay? He would also have risk bearing capacity. Max Weber points out to Hinduism, as I told you, Sanatana Dharma, as a religion, and he says that which is a value system which lays less importance on wealth accumulation, so does not encourage capitalism. And he feels that Protestant value system supports and nurtures capitalism and entrepreneurship. As pointed out by Max Weber, capitalists is saying that Protestants are capitalists. They have the spirit of capitalism. Okay. And they feel that they have to save for the future, they have to increase the productivity, they have to be working very hard, and they know very well that they need a capital for investment. All these things are the things which a Protestant ethnic group will be thinking about. So, they have an academic attitude. That is what Max Weber feels about it. He is the Max Weber, and the shortcomings of Weber's theory, as I mentioned to you, Hinduism is not properly understood by Max Weber. So, the Weber's theory does not hold water when it comes to religious thinking and things like that. Okay. Weber's opinion on Protestant value system was also not completely correct. Capitalism has also prospered in those regions where Protestant ethnic is not present. Okay. He feels that only Protestants will be able to understand the requirement of capital and things like that. No. In non-Protestant areas also, you will find the entrepreneurial spirit and the spirit of capitalism. McClelland came out with a theory called need for achievement. A person finds the need for economic growth. He would like to focus on the factors which are internal to him and also factors which are external to him. A student like you, if you would like to have some sort of an achievement in your life and you would like to be called, here is a person who has come out with this kind of an achievement and this is the success story of this person, you need to have an internal motivation and a thinking on the lines of innovation and an appetite, hunger for taking risk, which may be calculated risk, and you must see yourself as distinguished, differentiate yourself from the rest of the people in your community. Then that is what is the need for achievement according to David McClelland. It comes out of three things. Okay, your drive to succeed, your desire to be seen as somebody who is different in the society in which you live. Okay, you need to have influence over others, that is power, your power to influence others. So, you must have three things in mind to have a need for achievement, and if you want to see yourself as a unique individual with a success story behind you, these things are essential. That is what McClelland opines. So, self accomplishment and social recognition are one of the factors, not necessarily profits. Okay. Peter Kilby feels that the work of David McClelland and Max Weber has certain amount of association. McClelland extended the causal sequence of entrepreneurial behavior put forth by Weber. Max Weber mentioned that a need has to be felt, okay, to be more happy. If you see that one, there is a common point. So, there is an association of this theory with Max Weber's theory. Need for doing certain things, for that you need capital. Okay. So, here also the need is that you need more economic growth. That is what Peter Kilby feels about it. Most important thing in the understanding the model given by McClelland, need for achievement model given by McClelland, is that There are basically certain characteristics which need to be understood in a person. If you are, suppose you are, you wanted to be an entrepreneur, and McClelland understands you in this way. You must be having highest level of commitment to innovation, to improve the existing state. Okay. Suppose you have a house, and that house has got certain facilities. You want to work from home and create a kind of an avenue for you to grow. You must think very innovatively. How can you convert your homely atmosphere into a business atmosphere, where you can also meet some prospective investors? They will be able to invest in you when you are working, and you can outsource your production to an agency which will be doing that one. Okay. You do not own anything, you outsource production, you outsource marketing, okay, and you only get the organizing capacity, and you got the capital from a bank. What have you invested? You have invested your creative mind. You are able to convince the banker to invest in you. You have some seed capital. You have invested some amount as a as an investor, which you will be able to recover as a part of your salary and remuneration, which is not a big deal. But you are able to convince a banker for a business venture, and you found one supplier who will be able to outsource your manufacturing, contract manufacturing, and you have also found a sales and marketing agency to sell your products, and you still operate from home. It is quite possible. Okay. So, the points which I mentioned over here in this slide are all covered in the simple example which I had given. Okay. You know the difficulty of the task of manufacturing, establishing a manufacturing. So, you will also know the difficulty of finding a contract manufacturing company. Okay. But all these things you can overcome probably, provided you have high commitment for whatever you have chosen to do. Okay. So, the high commitment is the hallmark of many things that the entrepreneurs like you will be thinking about. Now, coming to Dacey and Ryan's theory of self-determination. Okay. This theory has got three aspects. It links personality, it links human motivation, and it also enables optimum functioning. Okay. There are two types of motivation according to this theory: intrinsic motivation, which is drawn from within the entrepreneurial thinking person, and extrinsic motivation drawn from the society. Meaning, as I told you in the McClelland theory, you need some need for affiliation, need for power, need for achievement. These three things I am talking about. Here also this gentleman is talking about affiliation. The need for affiliation will drive you to see that you are different and you are outstanding out of many people who are in your society. So, this theory talks about the interplay of intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Okay? And this gives you three types of experiences. One is you feel autonomy, you feel you are confident, and you will be able to relate yourself well or relate your business with the rest of the people. What will happen? You have an excellent volition, that is power of using your own will. Okay? You have an excellent power of using your own will, which is going to leading to get rather excellent results. Okay? You have willpower, excellent willpower. you have excellent motivation, you will be able to engage people, engage the stakeholders of your business venture in a very innovative, creative, productive and sustainable and viable manner. So these things will lead to enhanced performance, your persistence to be in the business, and creativity, increasing creativity. Creativity is not one, I would say, one-time affair. Creativity is an affair which happens at one particular point of time, because you cannot time that one. When you will be creative, you will not be able to know. Once you become creative, that triggers several other creative thinking patterns, several other creative activities. So this is how you as a person will determine what is to be done. So self is the determining factor in the theory given by Dacey and Ryan. If you want to understand Dacey and Ryan's theory of self-determination, you need a continuum. Continuum means from one end to the other end, where two players will be there. Here there are many players, but you can still see a continuum where non-self-determined and most self-determined. Your behavior on a continuum of non-self-determined to most self-determined will progress like this. You don't have any motivation if you are a non-self-determined. Okay? Absolutely no regulation. You are impersonal. Okay? Absolutely incompetent, and you don't have any control over your things. And that person will have absolutely no zeal to be an entrepreneur. Okay? Now, coming to the other end, you have got excellent intrinsic motivation. You know when to control yourself. Okay? You enjoy, you like your in the way you think about it, you show so much of interest, you feel contented with self. Okay? Then what will happen? With these things, you will get extrinsic motivation. How? There are governments which are encouraging startups. There is something called hub. There is something called HUB hub, a startup hub. Incubation centers where your idea will be incubated. What is incubator? Incubator is a nurturing process. You have a business idea, that business idea will be put into a process of incubation where it will mature from egg. Incubation is nothing but, okay, how do you incubate? You are hatching a egg. The egg will become a chick. The chick will become a chicken. And chicken, you grow the weight and you sell the chicken. Okay, or chicken will further lay eggs, and chicken will keep on laying eggs. The return on investment is assured. So similar manner, you have an idea, you incubate that idea based on the external environment you have got, okay, and the rewards that you see. You have your personal importance given to that one. You are very conscious about what is to be valued, what is not to be valued. So what will happen is that the extrinsic motivational factors you judge according to your self judgment. And suppose you have an idea to come out with a new product or a new app which is going to bridge the gap, then you have to find persons to invest, okay, and you have to find the kind of services that you will be able to get once you come out with an app. If you want to sell that app in the Google Play Store, okay, if you want to host that app in Google Play Store, once the app is downloaded, how many downloads were there? Okay, how many people are using it? you generate huge data of users. And how do you use that data? You do big data analytics. What kind of people are using my app? How do you enhance your app's functionality? These are all the things you will be doing by interacting with a market which is controlled, a market which is not controlled, a market which is dynamic. Okay, all these things will happen. So this is a continuum on which every person will have to understand and place himself where he is standing. So your competency, your autonomy, your ability to relate yourself and your business with the rest of the people in the market and the society will determine the entrepreneurship. That's what Deci and Ryan's theory of self-determination talks about. Again, aspirations and aims will be intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic, as I told you, will be motivator, and extrinsic will be creating wealth. You want more fame, you want it to be attractive, okay, and these factors will enable you to get into an entrepreneurial activity. As a offshoot of the self-determination theory, there are two theories which have come up. One is cognitive evaluation theory, other one is organismic integration theory. What is this cognitive evaluation theory? As I told you, it is a sub-theory of self-determination theory. It emphasizes on motivation needs to be intrinsic rather than extrinsic. Cognitive is nothing but it should be cognized within self. So, if it is cognized within self, then it is cognitive. Okay. But if it is extrinsic, it is called organismic, which means you would like to integrate the extrinsic motivation, okay, and facilitate a social responsibility and social self-determination. Let us talk about how do you internalize, okay. For example, extrinsic motivation, okay, and there is a regulation. I mean to say that you cannot do certain things beyond certain limits. So, you feel that you are safe. If you do this business activity, there cannot be competitors beyond what you can do. Okay. And once you are given that license to do the or manufacture a particular product, whoever comes into the field, they call it level playing field, everybody will have to comply with the regulations. So, you find there is a level playing field which is an external regulation. Okay. So, people feel that using the existing systems, existing organizations, okay, you can integrate in such a manner to come out with some kind of a entrepreneurial activity, which means you use the law, you use the regulatory conditions, you use the market, use the talent available, okay, and you use the kind of behaviors that you need which are available in the talent pool, okay, and you also use the government incentives for doing this kind of a thing. So, this is what is called, you integrate many extrinsic motivational factors to come out with an entrepreneurial activity. Having talked about the theories, now it is time to talk about some of the important characteristics that an entrepreneur should possess. Okay. Your behavior as an entrepreneur will be determined by these characteristics, your commitment and determination. and your desire for responsibility. I mean to say, whatever decision you take, you are responsible for that. Once you have a responsible frame of mind, whomsoever you take as an employee, you also insist same level of responsibility amongst all the employees. So, a responsibility leads to further responsibility and ensuring responsibility. Okay? That is what is called desire for responsibility. You are responsible for your own future. No one is responsible for yourself. Once this course is over, see, unfortunately we have got an education system which produces aeronautical engineers, and they come out, they get placed in Amazon. What they will be doing is, they will be doing some back office jobs of generating invoices, okay, and writing some small programs. There is some internal training which happens. Why does he study aeronautical engineering? He is not responsible. Somehow he wanted a job. He can as well do BBA, a bachelor's course in management, and he will be anyhow given training by the Amazon. But what is happening? Demand and supply. Why Amazon wanted to do placement in engineering colleges? Amazon knows very well that there is an abundance of engineering graduates available in this country. So, when there is a talent available, coming at a cheaper rates, willing to do small mundane jobs, clerical jobs, why can't we employ them? Though there are graduates available. Unfortunately, the output of colleges in terms of simple graduates is less than engineering graduates these days, because everybody wanted to see their son and daughter to be an engineer. So, we have got an engineering production units than simple graduates, and nowadays the trend is now slowly changing. Many people have taken up engineering not as a destination, but they are pursuing simple graduation course with specializations. Okay. So, that is what is called a responsibility, and you must be having an obsession to avail each and every opportunity that is coming up. Do not leave any opportunity. It is something called do not leave anything, any stone unturned. You must have tolerance for ambiguity and risk and uncertainty. If something is uncertain and confusing, do not get I told you very clearly, there is one saying which is talking about चिंता. चिंता नहीं करने का, ज़्यादा नहीं करने, चिंता करने का है लेकिन ज़्यादा नहीं करने का. If you do so much of चिंता, that is thinking, that will eat you. So, you must have a calculated thinking, you must have a scientific thinking to understand the factors influencing, why there are uncertainties, why there are risks, why there is an confusion or ambiguity. Okay? You must be self-confident, you must have creativity and flexibility, you must allow yourself to be given a feedback. Many leaders fail in this way. A best leader is one who gets feedback, and he gets feedback from authentic personalities which he finds amongst his employees. A best critic is your best friend. A best friend is not the one who always supports everything whatever you do. A best friend is one who is the best critic. So, feedback is, I would say, oxygen for any entrepreneur or leader to flourish. High level of energy you must have. You should not be dull. And for that high level of energy, you must indulge in some physical activities. Do not lead a sedative life. Keep your physique fit and you must be agile. I am not asking you to become Tiger Shroff like or Hrithik Roshan, but don't unnecessarily add calories to yourself. Be agile, eat smart, and eat whatever you can digest easily. Don't eat for the sake of taste and things like that. So, that self control gives you energy, motivation to excel. You have reached in some of the interviews, the famous, very I would say very well known actor for his innovative and creative ways of acting, Kamal Haasan, mentioned that when somebody is asking him, who is your competitor, who is your model, who is your role model, he says, Kamal Haasan is my role model, which means he competes with himself. He challenges whatever he has done so far. He would like to go beyond that. So, he sets standards for himself and exceeds them by himself. That is what is the best way of learning, because if you compare with others, never ending. You will never be like him, because you are yours, you are unique, and that person is other person is also unique. He has his unique ways of doing things, you have your unique ways. The best way to unleash your potential is know your uniqueness, leverage that. Okay? You must be future oriented. What will happen? What I would like to leave behind when I leave this place? That is what you must drive. So, a best leader will be philosophical in thinking, spiritual in thinking, yet materialistic. Then, if you have an admixture of spirituality, philosophy and materialism, you will grow like any person that you find as the most successful person in the world. Okay? And last but not the least is your leadership ability. You must be a leader, and you must have many followers to look at you as an inspiration, and you must continuously learn by being a leader. So, that is what makes your process of becoming an entrepreneur very successful. I wish you all the best, and last but not the least, you have to see how social entrepreneurs flourished in this era of information technology. Okay? A social entrepreneur term has come into being in 60s. Okay? Then you will have lead beater, that is the gentleman who has given, he has mentioned that you are what you share. Very interesting, it is a very philosophical concept. Our Sanatana Dharma also says the same thing, saying that you get what you give. So, there is an element of giving which is a part of social entrepreneurship, because they work not for themselves, but they would like to see the community develops, and they would like to see and enjoy the community when it is thriving with development and things like that. Okay? And you will find Bill Drayton, the one in color photo is Bill Drayton. He is the founder of Ashoka Group. The name itself, Ashoka, that which is not having Shoka. So, he would like to ensure that whatever community work he will be doing will be not having any pain or suffering. So, he has the founder of Ashoka, and he has done that kind of a thing. So, now we come to Vijay Mahajan. He is the founder of CEO, founder and CEO of Basics. Basics is the microfinance company, and he has done so much of social entrepreneurship, and he was given so many awards. Okay. The reason for you to know about these people, probably if you can do some Google search, you will learn about this. These entrepreneurs with social mission face a lot of difficulties and challenges. which are quite different in nature as compared to those faced by business entrepreneur, because business entrepreneur will be doing it for himself or for set of people, but as these people will do it for a community at large. So they will have more complex issues to face. So their perceived opportunities may sometimes be really opportunities and turn out to be sometimes threats. So very different. So wealth creation is just not just the means for them, it is not the end also, but it is a part of their entrepreneurship. They don't become entrepreneurs to create wealth. Creation of wealth become incidental to what they have been doing it. So that's how they will be doing it. Though he has done Vijay Mahajan, IIT Delhi and IIM Ahmedabad, he chose to be a social entrepreneur. He founded Pradhan, an NGO working in rural livelihoods, and he worked till 1991. He was the advisor of Government of India and state governments, and he is on a World Bank's consultative group to assist the poor people or economically challenging people in the world. So he has got a world perspective of poverty, how to alleviate poverty, eradicate poverty and hunger and things like that. So these are all the models you will find in the social entrepreneurs. Okay. Last but not the least, again a Samskrita shloka and a Subhashita also. You are a student. For a student, there are 5 lakshanas, qualities you must have. You must, like a crow, you must make continuous efforts. Okay. Like a crane, you must have focus. Okay. Like a dog, you must not succumb to the nidra, that is sleeping. You must be even alert while you are sleeping. Okay. And you must eat not excessively what is required for your body and mind. And you must be able to go away from the cozy comforts of your house. That means your parental love and affection, your siblings, and only then you will be able to call yourself a student. Kaga chesta, bakho dhyanam, swana nidra, tathaivacha, swalpahari, gruhatyagi, vidyardhin, panchalakshanaha. For all students, these are the 5 different lakshanas you must have, and this speaks of the kind of commitment you require to become a student. And you are a student, and be a student even if you become a leader. All the best to you. Thank you very much.